All right, Brendan, let's do this. Let's get into another Mere Mortals podcast. Welcome back. You are, like 5 times now, something like that.
Ultimate high score holder.
Yeah, I'm thinking of replacing one with you.
Perfect.
So just free up an extra 3 hours, 4 hours every week of yours to chat. Today I want to chat with you about handstanding mostly, but if we get into some funny stuff as well, that's cool. But we touched upon in the last one why you got into handstanding, which was, I think, just like a general love of it, wasn't
monkey
it?
See, monkey do,
yeah,
mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't know, you've recently been, I suppose, even teaching it, taking it a bit more seriously in terms of like a professional thing. So so you give us some good advice on the whole thing. So why would someone want a handstand? What's your reason for handstanding? Like apart from enjoyment, monkey see, monkey do.
It's just awesome. You just see someone do it, and if you've got that thing in you, you have to do it too.
Yeah.
I think there's like 2 types of people: someone who sees someone do a handstand and thinks it's stupid, and then someone who sees someone do a handstand. What's the point of that? Yeah, and then the other person just needs to do it straight away. For sure. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think there actually is a good reason to do handstands. It's not very practical, but it's fun as hell. Yeah. And it's teaches you kind of discipline and a work ethic, I guess, because it doesn't come easy. What
about even health reasons? Because I know there's a lot of stuff being said, hanging from a bar for however long, 15 minutes each day or something is really good for your, I think, shoulder cuff. Do handstands give the same benefits, I don't know, health-wise?
It's kind of like a double-edged sword, because they kind of make you think about your mobility more and giving you healthier shoulders so you can do more extreme things. But then once
you start to do extreme things,
once you can do more extreme things, you run the risk of injury even more. Yeah. So you just keep balancing between injury and
balancing between the two.
Yeah. Balancing. That's right.
That's the art of the handstands, not even the actual balance of a handstand.
Yeah.
The balance of not getting hurt too much.
That's it. But I guess people who do handstands are pretty good at knowing how to move their body, and they usually have better mobility than others, so it promotes that. But like I said, same time, the more crazy things you do, the bigger the risk. Yeah. Well, I talked about when we went to that gymnastics place not too long ago, and handstanding feels safe to me now. After seeing that stuff, I knew I was all right, my goal today is just not to get too hurt. And I think I came away with a bloody toe, and I was like, I think I'm good. That's a good level of pain on the trampoline, right?
Yeah, on the bloody trampoline.
I've done that a few times.
Yeah, for sure. Just something touching first, going, then it's a compounding effect of ding ding ding. Yep. But geez, I even lost my train of thought there.
It's safe. It's safer.
Yeah, it's safer than at least all the flipping stuff in the air, where it's as soon as you leave the ground, you have no control. You can't do anything.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Have you met people who've hurt themselves seriously doing handstands, or?
I haven't met people personally who've had any crazy injuries, but you always hear about people doing handstand on a really high rock or something, or in a silly place and falling. Or just the classic injuries rotator cuff or hip or something, they pull a hamstring like I have, or, just hurting themselves pushing in their handstands. But nothing too crazy.
Yeah.
I think once you get better, you kind of know your limits and you stop pushing them as extremely. But in the start, when people don't know how to use the body properly, I've seen people just flop straight onto their backs, flat.
Yeah, throw themselves up too hard and come down hard.
But then they get to that point where they're upside down and falling, but because they have no experience, they don't know what to do or how to get out of it, so they just go, just fall on their back.
Yeah.
Just land flat and win themselves or something.
For sure. Yeah, well, I'm that's probably one of the things I've always, scared me about it. It was getting caught in a weird position and not being able to get out of it properly. It was cool doing the tumbling at the gymnastics thing, just trying it out, and I think that's something I might have to try more of. Just for example, when I'm doing the real close narrow grip hands, it feels like I have less ability to twist out of it than when the hands are slightly further apart. So, yeah, I could definitely see some more injuries creeping in that way. Is there any age where you can't learn? Like, because I've heard people saying, no, you can sort of like do it at any age, but learning it at any age might be a bit different.
I mean, personal opinion, I don't think age has anything to do with it. Probably just your condition. Like the younger you are, probably the better to learn, because your mind is still fresh and you can learn things easier, and your body hasn't sat in so many bad patterns or not convenient patterns for handstands. But I mean, once you get older, then you get the issues that come along with that. So I guess you just have more stacked against you, so you have more barriers. But if you're keen, I mean, anyone could do it.
Because it's not physically that taxing. Like, it's, about as taxing, I guess. It's just putting your hands up in the air and pushing as hard as you can. Yeah,
pushing your body weight above your head. I think it depends. Like, the same thing. If someone's got a really bad shoulder or something, like, they're going to have a really hard time. And if you're an old person who's had, like, played footy or something like my dad, and you've got things wrong with, like, your bicep and your shoulder and stuff, you're going to have a really hard time learning it later on.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, and I'm asking you this because you've recently started teaching some, like, proper teaching. You're always the teacher at the calisthenic park, but now you're doing some proper ones in, like, group settings of 10 people?
Yeah, 10 people in a workshop.
Yeah, and what's that been like? Are you learning more about, I don't know, like common patterns or things that you didn't think of before, doing it with so many people?
Well, yeah, I think because most of my training came from me looking at people with super high level and then at my own training and thinking, well, I did it like this, so other people should be able to do it like this. But then, yeah, once you get a big group of people, everyone's got their own unique background, so they come with their own unique issues. So I guess it's just opening my mind to how different everyone can be and how you have to tailor it to each individual person. But then at the same time, there's like archetypal problems, so they're always kind of falling under the same umbrellas.
Yeah. So what would those be?
I think in the beginning, it's just like a lack of conditioning to even hold yourself upside down, either weak shoulders, arms, or wrists.
Yeah.
Hands.
So that's like you go up against a wall and you just can't even hold up there.
Yeah, like someone would try a chest-to-wall handstand and they would start facing away, hands on the floor, go to put a foot on the wall, and then they would just like sag into the wall.
Yeah, okay.
And they can't really even like muster up the strength to take one hand off the floor to push themselves higher up the wall.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, that'd be one. And then I think, what was the question?
The archetypal problems that are...
Yeah, and then there's like the closed shoulders, like being too closed, where people can't actually... They can't push up high enough to get the room in their shoulders to actually get more shoulder flexion. So that's like your typical like banana handstand, or you see people when they start calisthenics, they're always doing the same sort of shoulders forwards, leaned a bit further over the hands, and then like a curved back, and they're holding more through their chest and their delts.
Is that the same sort of thing you see like with a pull-up where... I don't know. I've just noticed like the people here. I look at their pull-ups and they're pretty like solid just through the whole body. There's no like real sagging or moving in weird parts.
Yeah.
Is that the sort of same thing? Like you just get more tighter, I guess, in a way.
I think the pull-ups are a little different because you can actually like control your posture differently in the pull-up, like depending how you like set your scapula when you do the pull-up versus what muscles you sort of pull with. Because if you like really curve your chest up and you pull, it's almost like a row, like you use more of your trapezius and your lats. But if you do like a muscle up version where you're really stiff and straight, that's a lot of biceps, some lats, but then it sets you up for the good dip position. So if you were super curved under the bar and you tried to pull up, you would just hit your chest into the bar.
yeah, exactly. It'd be the worst muscle up ever.
Yeah. So pull-ups are funny because I think it depends on where you learnt it from. Most people do the big curved back with their feet crossed underneath them and bend, and then people who've probably seen other people do calisthenics and muscle-ups, they probably model it off of the muscle-up pull-up.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And so, like, those problems you're saying, those are real beginner ones. What does it, like, do the problems just change? Like, you always have problems, or you, as you get to more intermediate, do just new ones crop up?
They sort of evolve. So I have, like, the thing that I look at is, like, there's 3 types of handstands, and the first one is too closed, where your shoulders are too closed, you're holding through your chest more, and you're doing the banana back. But then once you learn to push, and you haven't learned to, like, fine-tune your push, you overly push, so your shoulders are actually open, and you're holding more on your fingertips, but your butt's sticking out over, and you're balancing with your butt as well, more butt and fingers. And then from there, once you can control not open enough and too open, that's when you can kind of find the middle ground and get that neutral position. Yeah, and, like, that push is kind of like one of the first things you sort of try to develop in the beginning. And once you can get that push, then, like, all of the pressing, leg movements, all that stuff gets easier, and it's a better base to flag from. Then you can transfer it to one arm stuff. And without a push in the one arm, you end up in a banana and you twist and you sort of just hope for the best rather than holding with ability or skill.
Yeah, with control. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm just trying to think because, like, my sort of journey doing handstands was all self-taught. I don't think probably you're the first one who's ever really given me advice on, like, how to make it better. So I'm just trying to think, man, how much stuff did I either just plow through or didn't realize or just sort of naturally corrected over time? So,
well, I think, like, you do tucks and leg movements and that sort of stuff, and you can press, so you've kind of developed that push that I was talking about. You've gone from too closed to maybe too open to finding the neutral alignment. So yeah, like, there's certain drills you can do, whether you realize it or not, that are actually working you towards those goals.
Yeah. I think, I guess, like, maybe the way I corrected just not having a teacher was by just grabbing whatever everyone was doing and sort of just doing the average. So, like, yeah, okay, I'll do some tuck and I'll do some press to stand and some straddle stuff, and then just hope for the best that it all works out.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's, like, most people who do handstand, they don't just stop at, like, I can do a straddle now, I'm done. They straddle, they pike, they tuck, they press, they learn all of the different pieces, and that kind of culminates into your handstand in a fundamental sort of way. Yeah,
and that's where it gets more fun as well, I guess. Like, each new thing you do, it's like an addition on, rather than, maybe calisthenics, where I suppose you can combine some stuff, like you can go from a muscle up to a dip to a lever or something, but yeah, it's a little bit different, I guess.
Yeah, they're all kind of different patterns, whereas the handstand is always like shoulders over hands and then hips over shoulders.
Yeah,
would be like the minimum requirement to me as to what a handstand is, and then the rest, like leg movements, go everywhere. It all changes via the hips, but mostly, unless you're changing to one arm, it all stays the same.
Yeah,
like the foundation from the hands to the hips are usually exactly the same.
Yeah. You mentioned some of the teachers before. Who were the people that you, like, looked up to as, or still look up to as like the gold standard of handstanding?
Yeah. Gold standard is probably Andrei Bondarenko from Cirque du Soleil, the Curious show, I think it's called.
Yeah.
He's insane. Like, he can do everything and makes it look effortless while also making it aesthetic with, like, the circus style with all the lines and the shapes and all that stuff. I think it was in late 2019, Yuri Marmerstein did a workshop in Brisbane, and he was a handstand coach that I think I got his ebook a few years ago, and, like, there were a few little gems in there for me there. So meeting him, him being one of the teachers, and then Miguel Santana as well.
Yeah.
I saw him in his workshop at the start of 2020.
Yeah.
And just watching him do his stuff is insane.
Yeah, and we were very fortunate a couple of months ago when he came down here. I got him sitting right where you were.
Yeah.
Well, actually, no, on that side. But that was crazy. Just seeing him, like, just in the flesh right there in front of you is like, whoa, there's a different beast.
And he does, like, a 5-minute warm up on 2 arms. Like, that's how he gets ready.
Yeah. Intense.
Yeah. Him, there's a dude who I'm actually going to start coaching with soon named Ulrich. I don't know how to pronounce his last name, but he's Ulrich on hands on Instagram. he's given me so many tips over the years, so he'll be a coach, an actual teacher for me soon. And then there's a group called Handstand Factory, which is Emmett Lewis, who's like a mobility guy, and Mikhail Christiansen.
Yeah, they're really good.
Is like a super handstand nerd. Those guys, they'd probably be most of the influencers, other than like all the random stuff you see on Instagram and YouTube.
Yeah. I think I sort of gravitated towards the same people. I started off, I guess, with more calisthenic people, so like the Bodyweight Warrior. There's an Australian guy, Fitness FAQ, who Daniel Vadnal. They have it, but it's like not their core thing. It's just like a little side thing for you can sort of get these tips and tricks, but the real like legit OG people is cool. Does how many of those people just have like YouTube channels and stuff like that? I know the Handstand Factory have a podcast, and I imagine they put videos up somewhere.
They actually do handstand programs.
Yeah,
like you can. Yeah. I think they're one of the first sort of groups that do like really comprehensive. It's like beginner handstand, and then like shapes and everything, developing that push, and then they do one arm and handstand push-ups, and I think maybe they do a grip one as well. But yeah, they're more an actual program, like you can buy things from them. They do workshops as well, I'm pretty sure. But I think it depends on the person. Like nowadays, usually people will have either Instagram or YouTube. You can generally find it for most people.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, because I know for me, I don't like getting told what to do. I prefer like having that sort of second party, like they're on a YouTube channel, I can just press pause whenever I want. It's like, no, you stop talking now, and then I can look.
A lot of them do that. Like that Ulrich guy, he's got his Instagram, and I think he uses the IGTV for his long videos, and he will give tutorials and things like that. But the difference is like you don't actually get a program suited to you. Like they say, you want to get good at tucks, here's a general way to tuck, but they don't say here's why you can't tuck. So,
exactly.
A lot of people have their
and that's just a difference of I guess like learning style in essence, which is some people just really enjoy it, and also you probably do speed it up by having someone saying like, hey, you're screwing this up, like
or just working on things that you don't need to be working on. It's like I was always trying to do the head movements before I had a really good push, and like I would just move my head and then fall straight away. And I think it was at Miguel's workshop, I asked him about head movements, and he was like, don't even worry about it. He was like, just wait until you can do other things before you even worry about the head movement, because you'll just keep falling and wasting your time. Yeah. But that's not to say you shouldn't explore and play with it, but at the same time it's like, well, if you're training for an hour or two, how long are you going to spend falling down from like a 5-second handstand or a 2-second handstand when you move your head?
Okay, all right, you touched upon one of the main things for handstanding, which is almost like the grind aspect of it, which is you get up and you fall down, and then you do it again and again and again. What sort of mindset do you find best in terms of like making sure you're putting in the work, like the actual practice, as like getting the work done, as Miguel would say, or versus having fun and experimenting with weird stuff? What's your strategy?
My strategy is a very, very long-term strategy based on like a childhood dream, really. Like I saw my mum's yoga teacher do a handstand press, so I was like, I need to do that. And then I held my first balance at 10, so I thought I need to be able to do more. So like ever since then, I've just known that's the direction I'm going to head in. But I think it's like you have to have a balance between work and play, as I would look at it. Like there's no way you're going to progress without doing work. There are some people who do though, but generally, like you're not gonna make really good progress, like meaningful progress, if you don't do work. Whereas you might get sick of your training and get bored if you never play though. And then the fruits of all that work is now you can do new tricks to play with.
Yeah.
So like if all you can do is kick up and hold just a regular handstand, like it's not very fun to play around with. But if you sort of muck around with different ways to get into it, different shapes to hold, then it becomes fun. and you can make it look cool. But if you never do the work learning how to do that, it's kind of, you're always stuck doing the same thing, and it kind of gets boring and monotonous.
Yeah, I think I got stuck in the work category for maybe probably 2 years, actually. Like, just I never experimented moving my head around, going on blocks, going on different surfaces until I met you. So it was all just handstanding today. I'm gonna handstand. Like, there's a bloody ground. Yeah, let's get at it. There's a wall. Okay, we're against the
attack.
Wall. Yeah. So, but I have noticed recently, like, a drop off in essence of my ability to just continually do work. I think I am starting to I don't know, show my mere mortality and realize, like, no, I need some of that play stuff as well.
Yeah, and I think everyone is the same in, like, you have ebbs and flows. Like, at the start of this year, I think for maybe about 6 to 8 weeks, I was just hard out training, and I was seeing improvement in my pressing strength. And lately, maybe the last 2 weeks, it's sort of gone back into mucking around or a little bit of training. So you can never be just 100% work all the time. Like, you'll burn yourself out, you'll get bored, you'll kind of lose the love for why you're doing it.
Yeah.
If it always seems like a chore, if you call it work, you know, like, you suck out all the fun of it. So you need to play and actually see why you're doing it, to enjoy the fun side of it.
Yeah. In terms of, I always like hearing this, even though it's sometimes not useful, but, you know, general guidelines for how long it should take to do all these things. What would you say, like, general guidelines for, I don't know, maybe like how long it would take for a 30-second handstand, how long it would take to get to, like, a minute, those sorts of things?
Super hard question.
Yeah.
Because like, generally no one starts from the same place.
Yeah.
But I think, like, if you were looking to get,
so, like, if you had, like, say, let's just say 10 completely new people, all sorts of ages and whatnot, come into your workshop, and then you give them stuff and they just roughly go off and do it for maybe, let's say, an hour a day for a year, what would you sort of expect as a rough average of what they'd be able to do?
An hour a day for a year?
Yeah.
Probably like 30 to 60 seconds probably with some shapes as well.
Yeah.
I think there'd be some definite good progress there.
Yeah.
In a year. And this is assuming that these people are doing 1 hour of good training every day. Well, maybe they can have one rest day, but, you know, like, I think there would be some pretty good progress there.
Yeah.
30 to 60 maybe. Some people, like, there's always anomalies, people who are freaks in either side. Some people just won't even get 5 seconds and they'll just keep struggling forever. And some people might be able to do, like, a one arm.
Yeah.
So, like, they could just be that freak out there who loves it, who lives it, and just goes ham on it.
For sure.
And finds he or she has a natural tendency to balance and just gets it done.
Yeah. Yeah. I think I'm roughly around the middle. It's definitely lots of work, but it wasn't super, super hard. It's not like I was grinding away at, you know, from 25 to 26 seconds. It sort of went up rapidly once you can start actually holding it up there and get time upside down, not just falling down all the time. Yeah.
So a lot of it is just about accumulating volume, just like a shit ton of volume, because it's like learning to walk when you're a baby. Like, you didn't do an hour a day. You pretty much, your whole being was devoted to learning to walk and, like, mostly eating and sleeping. But yeah, like, I think I lost it.
That's all good. Where was I going to go with that? What are you up to now? What's your progress? What are you trying to do? What are your goals for the next while?
I'm filling in all the gaps between my 2-arm and the beginning of the 1-arm handstand. Okay.
What do you feel you're missing?
I'm missing a shoulder mobility. Like, I'm sort of not at 180 degrees. I'm kind of, 20, 30 degrees off. So I need to really, like, kind of do a 2-open handstand with kind of like some sneaky stuff going on with my core to make it look like it's a nice and straight handstand, but it's overextended a little. Yeah. And then, because of that mobility is shortened, that means I have to bend my elbows a little bit to get in there, because all the muscles are tight that I actually can't as soon as I start to do underbalance things or like bend my hips, my elbows will tighten because my lats and my triceps are tight. So I need to work on basically just working on that mobility, and then being really strict on my quality of movement as well as the strength. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so where do you reckon you can get to if you start like properly practicing a one-arm handstand in like a year's time? What do you think you can get? So you can, at the moment you're on like fingertip support, I guess. So one arm fully locked in, one and the other on your fingertips.
Yep. I think with a year with solid training, I would like to think I would get to at least like 15 seconds on each arm.
Yeah.
At least in like the straddle, and then probably be working towards different shapes like straddle or straight or diamond or something.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I think that would be a pretty unambitious sort of goal in 1 year.
Yeah. Is there a reason why the straddle is sort of the first one that people learn? Like, what's the reasoning for that?
Because it lowers your center of gravity, and you can also use your hips to control the lateral balance. Whereas it's like when you stand on like a slack line or something. If you spread your arms out really wide, your center of gravity kind of gets wider and lower.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But if you put your hands by your side, then you're like a pin. You're trying to balance like this tiny little pin on such a fine point.
Yeah.
Whereas when you straddle out, but you also have the hips. You can actually use your hips to control where the weight's sitting on either side.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Because I was just thinking like, I don't know. For me, if I had to say the most stable I get into, even though I can't hold it as long, would probably be a tuck. Like I just feel really, really stable in there because the gravity, center of gravity is so much lower.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that makes total sense.
Yeah, and it doesn't look like you have too tight of shoulders as well. Like, and you can press, so it shows you sort of have that strength in the elevation to be there, so you're strong enough, and the hip mobility sort of doesn't hold you back. Like, so that's like lowering your center of gravity, but because you're in a tight little ball as well, kind of makes it easier.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Just in a ball, like I'm hunkered down, can't move me from here.
Yeah.
Are there any good handstand meme pages?
I don't know, actually. I haven't...
Like specific to handstands? I'm sure there's probably like some calisthenic ones out there, but...
Yeah, if there are, I haven't found them. But I know Mikhail Christiansen loves a good handstand meme every now and then.
Yeah.
Pretty much just like all the people who are super handstand nerds will have handstand memes as well.
Yeah. So I'm not going to advise this to the general public because it's probably way too obscure.
Yeah, it's very niche.
Yeah.
You'd say it's very niche.
One was asking me the other day, actually, though, just about general meme pages. Where do you get your memes from? What are your sources?
Pretty much Instagram. Because you just get caught in the trap of scrolling through.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. I was like, yeah, that's probably where I find them.
But there is a YouTube channel called Unusual Memes.
Okay.
And every week they bring out a new volume. And it's just all the current memes.
Are they more video ones or picture ones?
All video.
Okay.
All video.
All right, I might have to check that out.
Yeah. Unusual Memes. They're up to like 110 maybe now, so you've got a lot of videos to watch.
Nice.
Yeah. And if you see them there, like I see them on this Unusual Memes, and then I'll go through Instagram that week, and they'll all be popping up. So they're pretty current.
Pretty on the ball.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I found one which is called like, I don't know, Russian Cube or COUB or something, and it's they'll put like a Russian meme in there, which is like, I just have no idea what they're saying. Or it'll be like some Russian girl saying something. I'm guessing it's funny. I don't know. And they're very sneaky. Like all of it's basically a meme page, so it's all just sort of like video memes. But they'll always include one section for the thumbnail, which is just like a big boob girl doing something, or like
clickbait.
The clickbait, which is like you sort of just accept it now.
Yeah.
But it was like a refreshing mix, because sometimes you just get like all sort of hot chicks doing nothing, and then maybe like one or two memes, and then the opposite, there's a fine ratio you need to find. Sometimes it's too edgy, sometimes not edgy enough.
Yeah.
It's a funny world out there.
How weird are memes though? Like, people don't even say jokes anymore.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the word joke has been replaced by meme.
Exactly.
Like it's a meme.
Man, that 10-minute meme was pretty funny.
Yeah. Yeah, it's changed now.
Yeah. Well, I'm just trying to think where I used to get them or see them, because I do remember seeing, like, you know, Pepe the Frog back before he was like a white supremacist or, you know, hijacked or whatever.
4chan.
Yeah. I'm struggling to remember though. I'm sure there was a site or two that I used to always go to, but
I think 4chan is kind of like the home of the meme.
Yeah.
And there's like Funny or Die, I think was a website, or funnyjunk.com.
Yeah.
Like this is really
that rings a bell.
Yeah. And they just had like a top 100, or you could just like click next, just keep clicking next and just going through all these memes.
I think that I remember doing that, where I would see a meme, I'd laugh at it, and then it's like, next, and then you click the blue button or whatever it is, and then you go to the next one, and it's sort of like a lucky dip. You don't know what you're gonna get. Could be
a meme rabbit hole.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
But memes used to be just like a picture, like just one simple picture and then like a line of text.
Yeah. You wouldn't have text of more than maybe like 4 words or 5 words. It'd be very short.
Yeah, or that meme would just be like a response to whatever. Like there was on 4chan, it was like a bunch of MS Paint drawn faces, and just depending on what someone said, was the meme was like the reaction to it.
Yeah. It's I'm sure people look back at this time like 100 years and be like, yeah, that was something special going on then. Don't know what it was. Or, I hope they've deciphered it by then. But
yeah.
So
who knows? Maybe they won't be able to look back because nothing's physical anymore.
That's true.
It's all digital. It'll just get lost in their cloud.
Yeah, I'd be willing to bet a lot of money that most human experience is done through some sort of VR type thing in 100 years.
Yeah, it'll be cheaper that way. That'll be the marketing. It's cheaper.
Yeah. Save the planet by not flying to, I don't know, Barbados. You can just go there in your virtual thing. Yeah. It's like the Duke Dumont has a video where it's sort of like a guy living out his fantasy. I think it's called I Need You or something like that. Anyway, he puts on like this big headset thing, and then it's just shows him at the start putting on the headset thing, and then you can just insert any random influencers, you know, highlights of 2020 or whatever, well, maybe not 2020, highlights of 2018, and it's all just, you know, like hot girl in front of you diving into the water, jumping off the cliff, sitting on a you know, setting sun on the beach, walking through like the busy section of Tokyo, and it's just that sort of video going on, and you see him just like cuts back out to him, and he's just in his chair like, yeah.
It'll be a weird future.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it, man. What are your thoughts on the future? You're looking forward to it? Ambivalent? Scared?
I'm just going to be sitting there with my box of popcorn, just watching.
Seeing what goes on.
Just seeing what's going on, because there's so much crazy shit now that's going to all like culminate into something in the future. Like kids not writing anymore, like they use like tablets iPads or tablets and stuff. Like, what's going to be the long-term effect of that? And what's going to be the long-term effect of like crazy lefty politics or even crazy right-wing politics? Like, what's going to happen?
Or if they create like a new thing, because at the moment it's always like left or right. I'd like there to be like a triangle, and it would just make it more interesting to me, like the triangle politics. Or don't want to go too near the left or the right or the top. The top's starting again.
Well, they have like centralists. I think they call them centralists or centrists or something. Yeah. Whereas they kind of lean both ways. Yeah. But then you add the tip of the triangle into it, and then you have to be like the center of the triangle, and you can't lean in either direction. Got to be an even spread. Spread out your stat points evenly.
There's some funny. If you ever heard of Michael Malice, he's full into anarchy, and he's got like a full. He makes sense. He makes sense when he says it, but I just always try and imagine it in practice and go, man, that's not going to work. People go crazy.
Yeah. I think you appeal to like the anarchist and everyone, because no one wants to be controlled entirely. Yeah. But then if you just got rid of like every single institution we have now, we'll be like, oh, it's actually kind of good what we had already. Some parts were shit,
Yeah.
but not everything was shit. So
Yeah, for sure.
yeah.
Good stuff, man. Good stuff. All right, I think we'll call it here. How long will we go for? 30 something. Good stuff. All right, man. If people want to learn more about handstanding, where should they go? Where can they
On
find you?
Instagram at Jayo Balancers.
Nice. And if you're in the Brisbane area, have workshops once a month?
Yep, trying to do monthly workshops over in Grip and Grit Fitness in New Farm.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool.
Just
All
hit
right.
me up on the Instagram channel,
On the
Instagram
DMs,
page
slide
if you
into
want
his
to
DMs.
get amongst it.
Good stuff. All right, cheers, man.
Thank you.